What is going on, everybody? Welcome to the show. Another Thursday, another episode of Simply Sessions. We have Nico waiting here in the wings to bring you the latest and greatest in everything Bitcoin. We're on the road. We're going to be in Lugano, Switzerland for the PlanB Forum. Very much looking forward to everything that's going to happen over the course of the weekend. But hey, we're still here and we're still doing it. So we're going to dive right into it. We're going to toss it to Nico, but please do remember to like, subscribe, share, all those great things. Keep your comments coming in the chat. And I am Ben with the BTC Sessions. This is your Simply Session.
Hodl the Bitcoin.
Bitcoin Well is on a mission to enable independence by being one of the easiest and quickest ways to purchase Bitcoin in Canada and the US. And the best part about it, every buy goes directly into your own self-custody. They never hold your coins. You can add a Bitcoin address as part of onboarding. There's a transparent 1% spread, no hidden fees, no withdrawal fees. Plus they have KYC free sells and bill payments on their website. They're also a publicly traded company under the ticker BTCW on the TSXV. Check them out over at bitcoinwell.com. Check out my full tutorial on how to use them, and you can check out the links in the show notes down below and sign up today. Speed is one of the fastest growing Bitcoin Lightning wallets out there. It is a fast and secure way to send and receive Bitcoin and stablecoin payments instantly. You can even swap between Bitcoin and stablecoins directly in the app. Also in the app, you can buy gift cards for all the best brands and earn rewards in the process. To download Speed, simply scan the QR code on the screen, click the links in the show notes down below, and use code BTC Sessions 10 to get 5,000 sats for free.
Yo, welcome to another episode of Simply Sessions. Let's get to it, ladies and gentlemen. So much news to unpack. First, we're going to start off with this clip. Michael Saylor recently went on a podcast by this lady called Madison Rady. Great production value, great interview. Highly suggest you watch the entire thing. But he said something really interesting about self-custody that has been like talked about. I mean, that's saying it lightly. And again, it kind of differentiates a little bit based on what he has said about self-custody in the past. So I'll play you guys a clip, and then I'll play you clips of Saylor talking about self-custody in the past, and then I have some reactions from the community as well. So let's check it out. Here we go.
If there is more Bitcoins held with these third-party custodians, what risk does that pose, having greater supply held by fewer large institutions? Does that increase the risk of seizure and confiscation like we've seen with gold? And is that not exactly what Bitcoiners don't want to happen?
No, I think it's the opposite. I think that when the Bitcoin is held by a bunch of crypto anarchists who aren't regulated entities, who don't acknowledge government or don't acknowledge taxes or don't acknowledge reporting requirements, that increases the risk of seizure. You have an OG crypto community that's very hardcore about it, but if you look at where all the money is, 99.9% of the money is actually in the traditional economy.
If you consider the Great Depression, I mean, people thought that their gold was safe in banks until the Executive Order of 1933. So we're not entirely safe. I mean, I know that's kind of a wild thing to suggest may happen again, but history does repeat itself. So people's Bitcoin wouldn't be entirely safe. It's
people say that, but mostly it's paranoid crypto anarchists that say that. Okay? Because it's a myth and a trope that goes on over and over again. But first of all, he didn't really seize the gold. People voluntarily turned in the gold. They didn't go and kick in everybody's door, arrest them, shoot them, and take their gold. That never happened. Is the United States on the Bitcoin standard?
Maybe we will be soon.
But the point really is we're not. Right? It's totally not a reasonable comparison. You know, people have these inflammatory tropes or inflammatory memes that they use. And it's like, I say that because I want you to give me your money. Okay? Like, if you don't trust the bank, then you'll buy my hardware wallet. If you don't trust this government, you'll move to my country and you'll buy a passport from me. That's the kind of fear mongering to get you to give me your money, right? And I use it to sell you a gun, to sell you a hardware wallet, to sell you an account, to sell you a financial advisor, to sell you an insurance policy, to sell you a, fill in the blank.
Okay, so interesting, right? Basically saying that, the seizure of gold wasn't like that. It was different. Basically saying that, if you take self-custody, you're essentially like a crypto anarchist, and only a small percentage of the community does that. And, he's kind of downplaying it a little bit. And what's interesting, though, is that if you go back to Saylor's previous interviews, he had a totally different outlook on custody. Just check it out.
Of something you can own $100 million of, where you can take personal custody of it, and where you can actually move it anywhere on earth, and where even if I hold a gun to your head, I can't take it from you. And the only thing we've ever figured out that you can do that with is Bitcoin. And so Bitcoin is like, it keeps everybody honest. The optionality to do this means that all you got to do is find one bank in Singapore that'll treat you better than the bank in New York or London or Tokyo, and then you can move it in a half an hour for $5. And what happens next? The bank in New York thinks, well, I guess we can't screw these guys over, because they'll just move it to Singapore. And the guys in California say, well, I can't just tax all the Bitcoin in California. It'll move to Wyoming. It'll move to Singapore. It'll move to Malta. And at the end of the day, you can tell everybody to go fuck themselves. You can put it in your head, memorize the freaking key, right? And it's here. And then, the classic Bitcoiner response is, oh, yeah, my Bitcoin, I lost it in a boating accident. You ever heard that phrase? It's kind of a trope, but what it means is, at the end of the day, if you push me too far, I lost it. It's gone. Sorry.
So very different. And here he is talking about gold seizures specifically.
Churchill seized the gold. Roosevelt seized the gold. If you'd lived in Germany, you would have had your gold seized multiple times. In Japan, they lost it 2 or 3 times. In Russia, count the number of times. So there's nowhere on earth where you could have kept your gold.
So weird, right? Like complete 180, basically saying like, no, that would never happen. Trusted third parties are okay. What happened? And there's a ton of community backlash. He issued a statement via Twitter, and he said, I support self-custody for those willing and able, the right to self-custody for all, and freedom to choose the form of custody and custodian for individuals and institutions globally. Bitcoin benefits from all forms of investment by all types of entities and should welcome everyone. Max Kaiser's take is, he said, my roadmap for Bitcoin differs from Saylor. I believe money existed before the state. Bitcoin separates money from state. Bitcoin ends the state. Saylor's roadmap is very provincial, U.S.-centered, and reactionary. It fails to consider the imminent and much-needed collapse of central banking and fiat money. And so in El Salvador, we are not so naive. We understand a Bitcoin renaissance is upon us, and El Salvador is leading the way. Saylor is trying to fix an irreparable and immoral broken system. We are building a new system, a new economy on top of Bitcoin. Come here, and you'll see what I mean. Jameson Lopp says the folks that are focused on TradFi adoption of Bitcoin don't care about improving the protocol and scaling the network because they don't care about self-custody. The next battle for the future of Bitcoin is brewing. So it's quite interesting what happened between this interview and this interview and this interview. What happened, right? What happened? I think that's the question. No one's better than their incentives. I love that quote by American Hodl. And, Michael Saylor benefits from people buying his stock, right? Michael Saylor wants Wall Street to feel comfortable about buying Bitcoin. And, the whole idea of self-custody is definitely outside of the Overton window for those types. This is a whole industry that has functioned. It needs third-party custodians for it to function, right? So, it's just quite interesting, that 180, right? But no one's better than their incentives. And I like the statement that he says, which is like, everyone's going to look at Bitcoin differently. Anyways, in other news, we have the ECB and the Federal Reserve releasing a paper roughly around the same time attacking Bitcoin. So the Federal Reserve says new paper, and this is a post by Matthew Siegel. It says new paper claims government can run permanent deficits if consumers don't notice and adopt new money like BTC. Fantasizes about legal prohibition and extra taxes on BTC to ensure government debt, quote, only risk remains only risk-free security. Turdemeester had an incredible thread covering the ECB. So he says the new paper is a true declaration of war. The ECB claims that early Bitcoin adopters steal economic value from latecomers. I strongly believe authorities will use this Luddite argument to enact harsh taxes or bans. Rather than praising Bitcoin as a tech paradigm shift a la petroleum and the internet, the authors introduced the blatantly Luddite that early adopters, quote, increase their real wealth and consumption at the expense of latecomers. Then go on to brazenly advocate for legislation to, quote, to prevent Bitcoin prices from rising or to see Bitcoin disappear altogether in order to prevent the, quote, the division of society. The authors also modeled some projections to illustrate the paltry amount of BTC that will remain available for latecomers. In all the years I've been monitoring the Bitcoin space, this is by far the most aggressive paper to come from authorities. The gloves are off. It's clear that these central bank economists now see Bitcoin as an existential threat to be attacked with any means possible. Many of us warned that this was coming. Bitcoin as a major political front line for both national and international elections, well, here it is. It means that us hodlers must take action to ensure that governments respect our basic right to hold property. And no, this won't be a war between haves and have-nots. Rather, this will be a historic clash between those who stand for natural rights of the individual and those who clutch at the failed ideologies of collectivism and central planning. So really, really interesting. And again, coincidentally, around the same time, Italy plans to raise capital gains tax on Bitcoin from 26 to 42%. Coincidentally, around the same time that central bank paper was released. So, I mean, my take on this is like quite simple. Like, it's like we knew this was coming. This is the separation of money and state. The central bank is an essential mechanism for the state to raise revenue via direct, instead of doing it via direct taxation, they do it via currency debasement. But to use Christine Lagarde's own words, if there's an escape valve, people are going to use that said escape valve. And you're seeing the system react. And they've been telling us for the better part of a decade that this thing was going to fail, that the bubble was going to explode, that it was going to go away. Now they're changing their minds and saying, wait, what if this thing doesn't go away? We're going to have to tax it, or we're going to have to make it illegal because people are going to pick Bitcoin rather than our system, right? So the gloves have come off. And you know what? Bitcoin exposes incentives. Bitcoin exposes fiat for the scam that it is. And I'm sorry, man, I'm sorry, governments and central banks, that you always planned, you always thought that you were going to have the ability to control people and to control the money supply and abuse that power also. And now all of a sudden we found a sly roundabout way, and you get caught in Pikachu face meme, like with your mouth open saying like, whoa, we can't ban, like, what, this thing doesn't go away. Like, that's not my problem, bro. You know, so I think as time progresses, you're going to see more and more governments resort to hostile taxation. You're going to see more and more governments potentially ban it. But this is where the judicial arbitrage comes into play, because if like Italian Bitcoiners are just going to leave Italy, they're going to say, peace, bro, and they're going to leave. Right. So again, like the Italian government is hurting no one but themselves. They're hurting no one but the Italian people. None of these taxes are going to work effectively. People are just going to vote with their feet, as Michael Saylor said earlier, right? So anyways, guys, this was your episode of Simply Sessions for October 24th, 2024. I'll see you guys later. Peace out.
CoinKite.com has some of the best hardware on the market today to secure your Bitcoin. The Cold Card Q is an absolute powerhouse and is my daily driver. And on top of this, they have plenty of other goodies, including the Mark IV, the Tap Signer, Open Dimes, the Block Clock, and much more. If you head over to their website, make sure you use code BTC Sessions at checkout to get a nice discount. Links are in the show notes down below. Keeper is a fully open source Bitcoin app created to help you stack sats long term. Easily use your hardware devices or assisted keys to create multisig wallets and plan your inheritance. Head over to bitcoinkeeper.app to download the app and use code BTC Sessions 30 to get a 30% discount on your first subscription. Comes to peer-to-peer trading and lending, instant self-custody, and no KYC, HODL HODL is the place to be. You can sign up with just an email address, and once you're there, you can start browsing offers immediately, whether you're looking to buy and sell, or whether you're looking to lend or borrow. You can check them out today at the links down below. Thank you, Nico, and thanks everybody for sticking around for your tech updates and some free sats. We're going to be giving away sats right now. Make sure you have your Lightning wallets out and ready to scan. I'm here on bitcoinwell.com. You can check them out if you are in Canada or the United States, but you can still win the sats regardless of where you are on the planet. Basically how it works: when you sign up, when you buy Bitcoin, when you refer friends, you earn points, and those points can be used to throw a coin in the Bitcoin wishing well, and you can win anywhere between 500 and a million sats. So we're going to do just that right now. I'm going to hit play now, and I'm going to throw 500 points or a coin into the well and get that Lightning wallet ready. And once it pops up, there's a QR code you can scan and redeem the sats. There's 500 sats for whoever scans it first. Best of luck to you all. If you do snag those sats, make sure you let me know. Either reply in the comments of the live stream, or you can hit me up in the comments wherever you are watching this show. Now, that's not the only way you can earn some sats. I'm sure many of you that are regulars of the show have heard of my company, Bitcoin Mentor, where we've aggregated a team of awesome educators that can help people with one-on-one video sessions, working through whatever they need to learn in their Bitcoin journey: wallets, hardware, multisig, Lightning, running a node, you name it, they can help you through it. Now, some of you have already partaken and actually used the service to level up as a Bitcoiner. But as we turn the corner on a potentially very exciting price year, we've seen a lot of upward momentum, then there's going to be a lot of people that are very curious and probably need some hand-holding through their Bitcoin learning journey. And this is where you can come in. You can become a Bitcoin Mentor affiliate and earn Bitcoin basically for helping educate the people that are around you. And so the way it works is you can scan the QR code on the screen. You can sign up to become a Bitcoin Mentor affiliate and then share your link to, well, really anyone and anywhere. And every time the person books a session, not just their first session, but every session thereafter, you earn $21 that will be paid out to you in Bitcoin. So super awesome way to be able to earn some sats. I can't think of a better way to earn sats than to help educate people and stack cold hard sats in the process. So make sure you scan the link and create your own link and share it everywhere that you need to help educate our new crop of Bitcoiners as we enter this new exciting cycle. But with that, let's continue on and let's hit our tech update. So first up, we've got Bitbox, their 10.2024 Lugano update, sending to silent payments and mini tap script. So they said, we're excited to announce that Bitbox 02 is now the first hardware wallet to support sending to silent payment addresses. This means Bitbox 02 users can now send Bitcoin to the same silent payment address multiple times without the sender losing privacy and eliminating the need to constantly generate new addresses. They have a hyperlink here, a list to find all the wallets that have implemented silent payment receive support. Super awesome. I really love the silent payment standard, And I hope to see it proliferate more around the ecosystem. They also introduced Mini TapScript, which is merging Taproot's privacy and efficiency with Miniscript's capabilities. And they say things like, it's perfect for creating more complex wallet setups like inheritance planning while keeping transactions smaller and more private. Users will soon be able to use Bitbox 02 with wallets like Liana once a software update enabling Mini TapScript is released in a few weeks, according to their blog post. So that is super awesome. I hope to see more of this, not just out of Bitbox, but around other hardware options and just even software options around. I use Sparrow Wallet quite a bit on my desktop. I'd love to see silent payments there. Yeah, awesome. Moving on, Bisq version 2.1.2, optimized reputation system and chat consolidation. So Bisq is a peer-to-peer exchange network where you can buy and sell Bitcoin and without KYC. And so it offers a number of things here: improved reputation system, easy to follow chat rooms, more flexible book offer filtering. Trades up to $25 no longer require seller reputations, easing entry for sellers and boosting small trade liquidity. And so the reputation system enhancements include trade limits are now directly tied to the seller's reputation score. Reputation gained through burned or bonded Bisq will double over the first year. Relaxed reputation requirements for trades up to $25, as stated before, and the minimum required reputation score has been removed. And then there's some chat room consolidation for easier filtering, and then offer book filtering, so you can now get a little bit more granular with exactly what you're looking for in there. So that's awesome. I'm going to have to play around with Bisq 2. I did do a tutorial on Bisq 1 back in the day, but it's been some time, so I think it's time to examine that again. Up next, River introduces Bitcoin yield on US dollars. So more or less, they announced today at River, we're announcing Bitcoin interest on cash. US dollars in your River account will earn 3.8% paid in Bitcoin. That means more money for things you care about. Lead Bank is a member of the Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation, aka FDIC, meaning user deposits are protected up to a value of $250K. According to River, Bitcoin interest on cash represents a significant shift on how individuals can manage their savings by combining the best of both fiat worlds. And yeah, so basically what they're getting at is you can earn, again, Bitcoin interest on dollar deposits. So you can think of this as, if you normally keep money in the bank anyways to pay your bills or whatever, if you were to do it with River, then instead of earning fiat interest, you would earn Bitcoin interest, and it's still insured like a bank account would be. If you're on a Bitcoin standard already, then this wouldn't apply to you. But if you have any sort of dollars in the bank, then there you go. Why not earn some Bitcoin in the process? Moving on, DeFi version 0.0.52. They've integrated Cold Card Mark IV, which simply means that the latest update brings features designed to enhance the user experience and security, including Cold Card Mark IV integration. And so this means that users can now store their escrow keys directly on their Cold Card Mark IV hardware device. So that's pretty cool. And then HODL, they've discontinued support for most shitcoins as a payment method. Starting today, we're discontinuing support for most cryptocurrencies as payment. They basically only have now Bitcoin, layer 2 options for Bitcoin, and stable coins. That's pretty much all that they offer. They did previously allow trades to be settled with other altcoins for a period of time, and then the volume obviously so low that they were like, nah, we're just gonna focus on Bitcoin related stuff. So awesome, good to hear. Not that I really dabbled in any of the shitcoin stuff anyways, but hey. And then I wanted to let you guys know that I have released a tutorial for Ashigaru setting up your dojo. So this is a fork of Samurai Wallet, which of course was shut down because the creators were arrested and the trials are ongoing. But somebody took the source code, forked it, and created a new project based on Samurai Wallet with the same infrastructure. The difference here is that you are required to run your own Dojo, which is a type of Bitcoin node that also deals with all of the privacy tools in and around what Samurai would offer. And so this video that I put together is in creating your own Dojo from a mini PC. So from scratch, I'm going to say that it feels a bit more complex, but I encourage you to try it out and play around, because realistically, it's just a lot of copy and pasting. So if you can copy and paste and follow an instruction manual, then you're probably pretty good. And so, yeah, I walk through this. I don't get into like the nitty gritty of the wallet, because I wanted to get through the setup for it first, and then I will do a subsequent video on the Ashigaru wallet itself, having already been connected to your own Dojo. So dive in. This could be a fun weekend project for you if you're looking for something to do. And this one, it was a work in progress. It took a while to get through it, but here we are. And then finally, of course, as I mentioned off the top of the show, PlanB Forum in Lugano, October 25th and 26th. There'll be the 27th as well. And I get in the day, obviously, today I'm getting in. And very excited for it. I get to do some emceeing. I get to do, I've got a keynote that I'm going to be talking about some of my favorite tools and new things that I've discovered in 2024. I also get to moderate some panels and do some fireside chats and be part of a game show. And I'm going to be at Satoshi Nakamoto singing. So yeah, it's going to be a hell of a time. Really, really looking forward to it. And if you're going to be there, if you haven't yet grabbed a ticket, it's coming up right away here, but head over to their website, planb.lugano.ch, and you can get tickets. Use code BTC Sessions, and I believe you can get 10% off your tickets. Anyways, with that, we're going to wrap it up. Thank you guys so much for being here. Again, like, subscribe, share, all those things, super important. You can also hit up the previously mentioned sponsors in the show notes down below. And of course, scan the QR code on the screen. I really do encourage you to become a Bitcoin Mentor affiliate and earn sats while stacking new Bitcoiners and educating people around the globe. And with that, I'm out. Have yourselves a wonderful day or evening, wherever you may be. I'll see you guys next time for your daily session.
Hodl the Bitcoin.